Hello again. I'm Jonathan Lopez from ClayAlchemist.com, and today I'm going to be telling you a little more about why I'm doing this project, and I'm answering a few questions that were asked in the past few days. Um, just to start off, why the heck am I even doing this? Why on earth would I subject myself to 365 days of sculpting every day, something new, uh, taking 5 to 6 hours easily per day? Um, Well, as you've seen, I haven't created very much in the past 2 years. I went to college. I dropped out of college because I simply wasn't learning anything, and I didn't enjoy it. Uh, it's really frustrating when you're trying to get creativity out, and education just sucks all the energy right out of me. Um, it just wasn't for me at the time. But this project is getting me into the mindset of working every single day as a creative rather than just here and there sporadically. It's discipline, you know. I'm just trying to uh, just develop a new way, whole new lifestyle, really, because it's not just I go to work, I make one thing and then I'm done. Creativity needs to flow, and I'm trying to just make my whole day revolve around it. Really, my schedule is I wake up at four. Was it like 4:30 in the morning? I walk into work, and then I usually come home around like 10 or 11 or earlier some days. Uh, and I do that 6 days a week. And I always have like Wednesdays off. So that's why I have Wednesday be my really hard to sculpt thing for the most part. That's kind of the plan, at least. Um, but kind of going back to the question, why the heck am I doing this? To re-energize myself, because it's something I need to do. Uh, don't get turned off by my use of God, okay? Because God really did inspire me to do this, okay? He's really just given me the energy to do this because I've been spending 6 to 7 hours a day some days, uh, but most days it's about 4 or 5. But just to do that day after day, it's day 10 today, and as you can see, I look a little tired, but I'm definitely getting used to it. The first few days were exhausting. I felt horrible, but it's really energizing now. Every day I look forward to sculpting, and so many people they just don't understand that. And when they see a picture, they're like, "Oh, that's nice," but then I go into detail as to how much work goes into it. It's their mind is blown. I just work in a coffee shop, so I'm talking to a ton of people, and and they just love it. The first day that I put cards out, 25 of them went out the door. It's sort of slowed down now with the cards, but I really do hope to get some buzz with this whole project, because I really do want to go back to college or else get a job in the illustrative or sculpting field. I just know that if I can make it through 1 year of this, that's what I can do for the rest of my life. If I can do it a year, that like every single day, and not get bored with it. Because that's the whole thing is, uh, so many of us we get started on projects and we just don't finish them. Uh, if I can't do this for a year, I can't do it for the rest of my life. And why should I waste 4 years of college, and thousands upon thousands of dollars? So that's that in a nutshell why I'm doing this project. Um, Kind of going over to what it is, that you guys are asking. So is from Nobot. Oh my gosh, I've always had a hard time with this guy's name because I scramble words. So, anyways, I'll just pop up on the screen. He asks, and do you already have like a year's idea of sculptures? Simply put, no. I that's the whole part of the process, and I want to get into that every day of just come out with something new because uh, I just found myself doing that before where I had a whole book of ideas and I just got so bored because it was like, oh, I came up with that like a long time ago. I'm sure I could come up with something better, and then I wound up not using those ideas. I do try to think either the day of or um, a sculpture this fell over. I was just cleaning. Um, I try to stay the day of because I don't know, spontaneity just brings out the best of me. Okay, uh, I love coming up with something new every day, and I'm just gonna stick with that for right now. If it changes, it changes. Next question from J17 Productions. How did you make or what did you use for your 360-degree vids? As you can see, I was just using my D5000 with a 50 millimeter for the most part, or a 35 millimeter. And then I hooked that into my computer using Dragon Frame. Uh, Everyone's heard of Dragon Frame, it's great. At first, I really hated it. It just seemed really complex and mind boggling. But, you know, when the controller finally came in, it just made it all worth the while. Uh, I, I really do think that I probably would have given up had it not been for that software because it just works so perfectly. Uh, I love the output. I mean, there's a few glitches with the D7000. For some odd reason, sometimes it just disconnects, but that's more Nikon's fault, I'd imagine, than Dragon Frame. Um, but anyways, that's how I do it, and I just use a plexiglass plate here with a screw in it into the table with all the tie down holes in. Okay, so next question. FNS production. Very nice. What do you plan to do with all these when you're done? Well, unfortunately, I have to melt them all down. I just don't have the funds right now to be going out and buying new clay all the time. But at the same time, it's really good. I'm using some of the clay from over 3 years ago. Eh, yeah, 3.5 years ago. Um, that's when I started using Van Aken, and rumor has it that it gets better over time, and it turns out to be true. It does sculpt a lot better, if you ask me, and I'm just using the heat gun to melt it down a lot of the time. Um, but unfortunately, I do have to melt it all down. Hang on, something just popped up on screen. Um, I do plan to make large prints of my favorite ones. As you can see, I have pictures all over the room. That's part of my inspiration. That's just sort of what I've made this place to be. This is just my room, okay? And no loft apartment, okay? I can't afford that. But unfortunately, I have to melt them all down. In the future, if you guys ever want a print made of them, just uh, you can email me at johnny.d.good@live.com, and we can see about getting you a print. Um, yeah, I think we can do that. Let's see, what's the next question? Oh, I guess that. And just a few more people asked about where do I come up with ideas? Uh, 365 days. Good grief! How are you going to come up with that many? First of all, I don't think of that. I really do try to keep that in the back of my head that this is, or I try to keep it out of the back of my head that this is a 365-day project. Um, I use daily inspiration. Most of the time, it just comes to me while I'm opening the store. At like 5 o'clock in the morning. um, it's really just silly things that happen, thoughts that go through my head, emotions that sometimes we all feel. Uh, that's pretty much where it comes from. It's got to come from your soul. And I just kind of pray that every day I have something funny to sculpt. doing this project, it it's an enabler, you know. There's no way to really put it. Um, you guys really have to try something similar. You know, whatever it is that drives you, you gotta like focus on that. You know, if your life just sucks because you know like you look around, there's nothing to look forward to. You gotta get out of that mentality. Um, it's just so destructive, and that's why I'm doing this. You know, to get out of that mentality. So, you know, really some of the benefits of doing this is that I haven't had a single day that I felt terrible. You know, that I felt like negative. You know, I might have felt tired. You know, when I said earlier that I felt terrible, I was dead tired by the third day. It's just so emotionally draining because you're sitting here sculpting so tediously and you watch that time lapse and you're just like, gosh, that's a day going past. But it's just so energizing these days, and it feels good when I get tweets from people saying, you know, like this is inspiring to me. It's oh, you don't know how good that makes me feel.